Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hello everyone, this is Carrie with Unicorn Company, and today we're going to be taking a look at the master unit list. Why are we doing this? Well, a few reasons. One, because we need to. Okay, to make the long story short, as you all know, I have been teaching my partner how to play Alpha Strike, one of my partners actually, and much like how people talk about polyamory supposedly leading to a Dungeons & Dragons group, my hope, like way down in the back of my head, well, one of my many hopes, one of them would be to end up with a BattleTech group out of my people. The reality of this is probably not going to happen, but she needs some help with navigating master unit list because it's not something she's done, and quite frankly, it's not really something that you look at and you're like, oh my god, I know how this works. There's a little bit of nuance to it and a little bit of, I don't know what to call it. But anyway, we are going to take a look at building a list, and we'll go through all the stuff and see how it works. And, excuse me, we'll build a list together. So, we start off here with the main page. Now, you'll notice in my tabs, I have two of them open. I have some very old links up on my top bar there. I need to update that. Anyway, we have the master unit list and the master unit list. Two of the same thing. There's a reason. We're going to go into why here. So I'm going to go over to the one on the right. I'm going to go to Force. We go to Alpha Strike Builder. And this will give me this, which has a place where I can look up mech or vehicle or whatever names, and it pops out a list, and then you'll see. So we're going to start with picking our faction. So we go to Factions, and as you can see, it gives us a wide range of factions to choose from. Everything here, everything. You want to do RimWorld's Republic Home Guard from the Star League, Fall of the Star League, it's right there. You want to do the Terran Corps, the group that was inside, oh god, I forgot what it's called, the Terran Hegemony? Well, that's right below it. The Star League, well, you've got your pick here. You got the Second Star League, Standard Star League, Regular Star League. I don't know what the difference is here. And then you have the Royals. I have to dig into these one day and see. You want to be Wolverines? You look up Homeworld clans. You just scroll all the way down, and there they are. Star League in Exile. That's right there too, by the way. And then, of course, you have over here, which is really fun. You have Star League Jade Falcons, Star League Smoke Jags, Star League Clan Wolf. Now, mind you, I would expect all three of these to be pretty standardized, given that the new Star League, you would expect that, but we'll see. There's a hegemony, because we also have we have the Inner Sphere powers. You have everyone from Comstar or Capellan Confederation all the way down to the Word of Blake and everything in between. But where we're going to be going today is to one of my new favorite. Oh, by the way, you do have a few factions that hop around, which is kind of fun. Like you have Clan Goliath Scorpion, but then later on they became Escorpion Imperio, and then later they became Scorpion Empire. But anyway, I digress. Let's talk. Let's. Oh, and Ghost Bears have 2 entries, and Nova Cats have a few, and blah blah blah. Let's grab the Clan Protectorate, because this is where my Nova Cats now reside, or at least a good chunk of them. And I follow my Nova Cats where they go, because they're good kitties, and they only have one era, and they have a limited amount of equipment. So we go over to the clan protectorate in the ill clan era, including Inner Sphere Clan General. I think that's interesting. I would have assumed they would just be Inner Sphere General, but they count them as a. I don't know. So this is the screen though where we have the list, and this lists every mech available to our friends here in the protectorate. As you can see, it's a long list. It's not that long actually. Some of the other houses, clans, etc. in this era have much more equipment, especially when we get into the other end of things. Ooh, they do have the Viper. I remember okay, so side tangent, but kind of funny. When I was a kid, I remember, it's not a bad mech, but I do remember there was a G.I. Joe episode where this guy they kept getting phone calls at their headquarters saying the Viper is coming. And it turned out to be the whole episode they're getting prepared and they're getting ready, and then at the end of it, the Viper was the wiper. It was a guy who it was a window cleaner. He was there to clean the windows on their office building, and he had a very, very, very Chekhov accent. They thought it was like some sort of like Cobra secret weapon or something. Anyway, so we have our clan protector, Ill Clan era. Hop over to Alpha Strike Force Builder. All right. So I'm going to show you what with this faction. It's one of the bread and butter doodads. It's really awesome, actually. So we're going to scroll all the way down, keep going. Hey, look, Nova Cats, Mad Cat, Phoenix Hawk. There we go. So you want to find out which mech to use, and you're like, okay, I don't know which one I like. So like the Warhammer 2C, this is a solid mech in this era. It's a bit slow, but it's more there as a giant damage sink. All right, and we're gonna build to the specs for the 375 point list from Southern Assault last year. Because you are going to be dealing primarily with short to medium range engagements, you're going to look for short to medium range damage. Well, there's Warhammer 2C3, which is actually a pretty cool variant of the Warhammer. And as you can see here, the 2C3, we have all our stats, right? We also have a special here of energy, which is awesome. Like, yeah, and of course it has what we're looking for: 770, big chunky armor, a lot of structure. It's 49 points. It's not cheap. None of these are cheap. Don't ever think that they're going to be cheap. At least when you're building competitively. So we go in here and we type Warhammer 2C. Now, one of the other good things about this is that it shows you a abbreviated version of the stat block in the stats. Mind you, it's only showing you armor, structure, and damage profiles. So, like, the Warhammer 2C3 is right there. It's a 770, no overheat, 8 armor, 6 structure, costs 49 points. We're going to take one of those. Now, if you look back here, because we're already on the Warhammer, let's hop back out to the list. And look, there's the Warhammer 2C11. It's a point less, and it's right here. 3124, blah, 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 blah. And just grab one of those. So now we have 2 Warhammer 2Cs, a 3, and an 11. We can only have 2 Warhammer 2Cs, so no more of those. Then we need something fast and herdy. So we're going to scroll back up here. Well, actually, no, we're going to scroll back down here. There we go. Mad Cat. All sorts of variants of the Mad Cat, right? Excuse me. Now remember, we're engaging at short to medium range constantly. Long range is barely a thought. So you have the Mad Cat W. This thing moves 12. It's a 770, 55 points. Now, interestingly enough, you do have the Sphinx, which, if I recall correctly, this is same weight as a Mad Cat, You don't see it nearly as often. But we're going to look through here and see what the Sphinx has to offer. So it's got 4 structure and 7 armor, so it's a little bit less than the Mad Cat. But it's not that bad. And looking through here, let's see what we can find. We got the 2. 883, Jesus Christ. And its energy boat? 60 points, though. Yeah, the 3. I want to say there's one of these that fits in really well with the tactics that I use in the game. It'll eventually load. 88. Ooh, the Sphinx 3 is an 880. It outguns the Mad Cat. It outguns the Warhammer, too. It moves 12 inches, the same as the Mad Cat. Okay, so we got 59 points for the Sphinx 3. And if you want to compare designs, what I usually do is I'll go open in new tab, and then open in new tab, and then I can go and click on the picture of the card for both of them. Make sure OBS is recording what I want. Yep, okay, cool. And as you can see, I can go back and forth and see which one I like. All right, so 880, no overheat, 770 no overheat, 12-inch move, juggernaut, blah, blah, blah. Skirmisher, which, okay, whatever. Case and Omni. This one has 1 less armor, but it has energy, and it also has ECM, which is a very, very, very good it's 4 points more. So we can either go with the Mad Cat or with the Sphinx. Okay, so this one still can get ammo exploded. Like if you take, let's say you take a critical here, then the next dot gets a hit because you have an ammo explosion. And then you roll for a critical again, and in theory you could ammo explosion yourself to death, even with case. With this, it has no such flaw. It is more points, because mind you, it's harder to kill. So we are going to close this one. Then we're going to hop back over here, and we're going to grab the Sphinx. If I can remember how to spell it, we're going to do that. Yep, and this was and of course when you come up here, you'll get the little, I can't move my mouse, you get the little info box, and it'll show me it's the Sphinx 3, so we're going to grab that little booger. And then we need our battle armor. So we go back over here, we're going to close this window, or this tab. We're going to go back up to the top. Now mind you, am I done with the mechs? Probably not, but I need to know how much I need to dedicate to my infantry, which is going to be battle armor in this case. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to grab, let's see. Alright, so Corona Heavy Battle Armor, this one right here. What you're looking for with the battle armor is something you can drop off on an objective that'll hold it relatively easily. And yeah, Corona doesn't move very fast. It's a 330. It's basically a clan marauder without X-Mech. It just has mech. So we're going to go in here. We want 2 of these, because you only have 2 of anything, and you can have 2 of the same variant for vehicles and battle armor. Type Corona. And you need to have the appropriate squad size. Squad 5. So 1, 2. And then we're going to go back. And you know what is available to us through them? That's right. A few of you hate this, but it is so effective. And it tells you the squad size you're supposed to have based on faction, which is nice. So Tortoise 2, Squad 5, we're going to go into here. We are going to type the dirty word of Tortoise, as some people would say. Squad 4, we're looking for SRM, Squad 5. So there we go, Tortoise 2 Battle Armor, SRM, Squad 5. Boop, boop. Now we have those. We're at 238 points. We need a way to get all these around. So we go back again. And for the Coronas, excuse me, for the Coronas, we have the ability to stick them onto mechs. The tortoises, not so much. I do want to find, though. Alright, so if you look through here, you'll see all the stuff that you have. Crow, Asher. We do have access to the Heavy Hover APC. So I'm going to open this in a tab because I like this vehicle. It's simple, it's cheap. Yeah, it's fast enough to drop them off on the objective on the first turn normally. It's generally what you want. Now, mind you, there's some interesting ones in here. Like the H10, I believe, has infantry transport, but I think it's a 4, not a 5. No, it's IT5. Okay. So we could go air assault with the tortoises. Only problem is you do limit your range, but you have a better TMM because if you look at the Heavy Hover APC, it's a 3. Actually, fly it 2 inches above the ground. I mean, you could, or 1 inch. Hell, you just need to have it not on the ground. And it doesn't have any guns. It's not like you're trying to hit anything with it. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to open this up because I kind of like the idea of air assault battle armor. I'm going to have to test it several times to see if it works. Then you start getting into way more expensive stuff. And one thing you can do if you're just looking to be on the cheap is click that next to point value, or you can, like, whatever you want to do it by. And then you go down and it will have it all listed by PV, which I might be going with these warriors, although the heavy hover APCs are pretty good too. But another way, if you're looking for a specific kind of unit, you click units, and it's going to take you away from this, but you can easily navigate back. And you go to Alpha Strike, IT5. So you type in the ability you want. You can type a minimum and maximum PV if you desire. Then you scroll down a little bit. You go to Rules. Click on these 3 because they are allowed. And then you go down to Factions. Clan Protectorate. And we also should autofill Inner Sphere Clan General. Alright, so now we are playing in the Ill Clan era. So availability era. We'll scroll all the way down to Ill Clan. I'm going to hit filter. There's 3 units that match this. So we know about one, the Warrior H10. There's also the Sylvantivit infantry fighting vehicle, which comes in at 28 points, and then the tier infantry support tank, which is a whopping 32. Are they worth it? I don't think so. I'm literally looking for a battle taxi here. 20 hover. I mean, the Sylvantivit is not a bad vehicle at that, but it's a bit costly. It does have turret 110, so at least, you know. And then the tier is also a hover tank, 18 hover, 331, turret of 331, armor 3, structure 3. So it's a little bit harder to knock off the battlefield. Alright, so we're going to keep these 2 in our back pocket. And then we're going to go click back, back, back. It should put us, yep, right back where we were. All right. Anyway, for the Coronas, I mean, it depends on how I want to go with this. Like, okay, so as you can see here, I've got this. So my next idea is to go with something to drop off the Coronas because I don't have Omni. Yeah, I don't have Omni vehicles to do it. I should have checked that. Actually, let's do that. And you'll get to see an interesting little thing here. We're going to type in Omni. I'm not even going to worry about rules because I'll see what those are when I... factions. Availability is going to be L-Clan. So we got 264 units here, and I can do this, though. Conventional infantry, so if you scroll down, fortresses, mobile structures. Yeah, Omni vehicles here. So we'll go wheeled, VTOL, tracked, hover. Not doing fixed wing. All right. 9 units. Okay. So apparently I have 9 Omni vehicles available to me. We got the R10 mechanized infantry combat vehicle, and we have the Onuris attack VTOL. Let's take a look at the R10. It's a cute little booger, but it only moves 10. I'm looking to be able to drop these off way quicker. And they all have IT4, which is sort of useless to a faction that uses 5 as its base number for its yeah, that's kind of pointless. Like if these were IT5, I would possibly consider it. Now the Onuris, I don't think has a, that's what I'm looking for here. Okay, so the Onuris does not have a infantry transport capacity, but they are irritating little boogers. But the Corona does not jump, which is going to be an issue because we want the Corona to get out or get off of the thing, and these are all going to require them to land. And what's our airspeed, or what's our speed on the Onuris? I should have looked. 20 VTOL. Okay, so this would keep up with the cavalries, but we'd be stuck with the problem of getting the Corona to the ground, which would require us to land the VTOL. And they're expensive. So we are going to go all the way back because you know there's a cheaper way to get these to the ground. It doesn't require me to have Omni helicopters or Omni whatevers. And those are called dashers. So if I'm going to be spending these points, I might as well spend it on a dasher or two. 25 points for a dasher H. Now, if you don't know what one does, here it is. Eventually. I apologize about my internet being dirt slow. 26-inch movement. This is better than the other one. All right, so we are going to go over here. Type dasher. Boop. And we have all the dasher variants. So we're getting an H because DACA. I mean, look at that right there. Boom, right in the back. 5 plus 1 additional die for shooting in the back. And then, like I said, you can see all the base stats. We know what a dasher does, essentially. So we're going to grab a P, which is 1 less damage. Basically, it's another dasher H. All right, so we're at 285 points. We need our infantry transports. We're going to go with the warriors. £10 a pop. Grab 2 of those. They can fly the tortoises wherever they need to go on the battlefield. Faster than the heavy hover APCs. 1620. So yeah, you have a little bit more mobility. And you can fly really low to try to keep from getting dead. All right, so we got 2 Warhammers, a Sphinx, 2 Dashers. Now we're going to do what a lot of people see as... Oh, don't want to do that. Make sure your number lock's on. If you click on the skill, you can type a number and it will automatically fill it. Leave all these at 4. All that at 4. And we have the bottom of the screen. We have 337, so 375. I ain't doing math in my head. 375. What, 40, 30, 38 points, I believe. So we got 38 points to blow on things. Woo! Because this gives us our basic core force right here. We have the Warhammer 2Cs, which are tanks. 8686. 770, they just sort of trundle along the battlefield and shoot stuff. Oh, hold up, I forgot. There's another secret. We need to get more points. So you click here. You usually have 2 units at skill 7. Your weaponless transports give you that. All right, so there we go. 331 points. That leaves us 44 points. All right, so it gives us a bit more wiggle room. So we need a 44-point unit or a couple 22-point units or something to fill in space here. We're at 11 units. This is not a shabby force as it stands. I wish I had a little bit more armor, but the ENE, yeah. All right, so 44 points. We're going to go back to the force list here. And we are going to go up to the top. And once again, we're going to hit point value, giving us point values of everything that we have available. Can't have another dasher. I mean, we technically could take a dasher 2. How do they look? Are they fast? What do they do, right? I've not... It's like the disappointing version of a dasher right there. Go back. Excuse me. I have TMJ, so like every now and then you'll hear my jaw click. There's the Horned Owl at 28. Standard Tech 332 energy. Let's see. What's the Ocelot look like? I don't know. So yeah, this is one part of list building where when you get down to that final, what's it, 330 energy light probe recon 4-2 30 points 12 jump. Maybe a good little buddy for the Sphinx, but probably not the best. Got a few Pouncer variants available to us. The Stalking Spider 2, which, I don't know, I had tarantulas in last year's list, so maybe... Or maybe not. Although I do like the idea of the turreted... okay, I have a weird thing for mechs with turrets. Quad mechs with turrets are awesome. But it doesn't put out a lot of damage. Ooh, there's a different version of the Ocelot at 35. Do we have 332? No. Avalanche, Cougar, Havoc, Griffin, 2Cs. Couple Griffin, 2Cs. Okay, so we do have the Hellhound. Well, the Hellcat, which is just a themey type thing because, you know. But here's what I don't like is that number right there, because I'm paying for those that 3 damage that I'm not going to be using. I wish there was a heavy laser version of it, which would have just been awesome. We have the Hammerhead available. A few Shadow Cats. There's a Wendigo A, which is not the best Wendigo. Kyoto. Hellhound, Madcat 3.5. So you're starting to get towards the top of the range here. Like the Guillotine 2C, the Morrigan 2. I do like the Morrigan. The Morrigan does have a special place for me. And it's a 440 with 3 overheat, 16-inch movement, TMM of 3. You know what? That's going in the force. Anyway, also our mascot is named Morrigan, so I think it fits. So we're going to go with the Morrigan 3. Puts us 3 points under. I don't have any extra room in the H10s, but the heavy hover APCs will get us where we're going. So we're going to swap out the VTOLs. Because I'm going to be honest, the transports never survive the turn they drop off. It's just a matter of the fact that... Alright, so it puts us at 374. And you're like, well, Carrie, what are we going to do with that 1 point? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back over here to our available forces for the Clan Protectorate. We're going to hop back over to the infantry, and we're going to check and see if there's a very special unit there. Okay, so one of the things about playing tournaments, you do min-max a little bit. People don't care for it, but it's a thing. So we're going to see, I should say, if we have access to anything super light, and we don't. Alright, so we're not going to worry about that. And to be fair, at this point, yeah, at this point we would just be looking at running under a little bit. Now, if you do want to make the Morrigan more effective, because it does a little bit, it's going to depend on medium range more often. And these little buggers be at short range constantly. You can see about wiggling around points. It's probably not going to work, so we're just going to leave the Morrigan at a 4. And leave these two at fours, leaving us at 374 points with a hell of a battle line here. Now, mind you, I don't like having to use dashers, okay? So, here's the thing. Dashers, yeah, they generally cost more than I want to pay for them, although they are excellent backstabbers. So you can kind of take that into account. These right here, the reason I chose these is because, well, they're really good. And it has as much to do with the armor structure as well as the damage output, because I can drop these on objectives, and like if you have the single objective in the middle of the table, that is now 16 points of fire getting thrown at you from the objective on turn one because of the heavy hover APCs dropping you off right there. But yeah, so I mean, this is a list that could work, and if anybody uses it against me next year, I will totally feel a bit of regret at sharing this process with you. But at the same time, I won't, because I kind of want everybody to have effective forces, which, you know, make the competition even better, and you know, yeah. So I hope that this has been helpful. I really, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use this tool for other stuff in the future. Maybe when we talk about products coming out and stuff like that, I'll be able to bring up images and show y'all, and you know. But yeah, so this is the master unit list. This is generally how you use it. It's how I use it, at least. It's how that's why tabs are an awesome thing, especially for my neurodivergent ass. And yeah. Fortress Miniatures and Games. Do check them out. They are an awesome resource for all of your BattleTech needs. You can see I visit Fortress a lot. But yeah, check them out. Awesome for all your BattleTech needs. If you need miniatures, they have you covered. They even have, you go over here and you go down to, you got the Force Packs, you got Alpha Strike box sets, box sets in general. Then if you scroll further down, CGL Miniatures Loose, and you open that up, and boom, they don't have everything, but they do have a lot. And if you're looking for like one particular miniature and you don't want to buy an entire box of models, this is where you go. And they even have the premiums. Like there's the Hammerhead, there's the Mad Cat, there's the Wolfhound 2C. But yeah, if there's something you need as far as one of the plastics, they got it. If you need iron and metal models, they got them. I mean, to be fair, they do an awesome job, and they try to keep stocked on all this. This stuff sells really quick, as you can see. But like, there's a Dasher, which I may have to pick another one of those up simply because. But then, like, for example, I'm gonna need me a. Where is it? Iron Metals. I'm gonna need me a Morrigan. So I don't even have to do that. I can just go up here, type in Morrigan, boom, and they carry just about all of the miniatures for Alpha Strike. And well, you carry all the miniatures, all the plastics, except for the Aerodani Light Horse release, and they also carry like a huge range, almost all the models from Iron Man Metals, archived models, everything. Go ahead, check them out. They're really awesome, and I highly recommend them. Also, if you are not signed up for our Patreon, I highly encourage it. You can find it at patreon.com/unicorn company. And yep. So yeah, patreon.com/unicorn company. Check it out. That's where you can support us. We have multiple tiers. We have all sorts of tiers for everybody who might be interested. And we are trying to do early releases as far as video previews, stuff like that. This one will not be an early release. This one will be going straight to YouTube because I want to help as many people as possible be able to use the master unit list. So now, finally that I've gotten all of the promotional stuff out of the way, I do hope that you have a great day, great evening, great whatever it is, where you are. This is Carrie, signing off.
Gonna find my meaning, I can make a change, I wanna play the game.